Tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio, dropping knowledge in the studio you already know.
Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. This is your boy Prince Hakeem.
And this is your man Ronnie Ron. Hey Hakeem, what's happening? What's going on?
Hey man, you want to know something? For a lot of people don't know, we winning this year. That's all we doing.
Yeah, of course. Hard work pays off, you know.
Hard work, it does pay off. Especially when we got beautiful women around us and not niggas.
Oh boy, you don't understand. Like right now, if people can see me, I'm over here blushing.
I could tell.
So hard.
I could tell. As soon as you flipped up the camera, your eyes started going up. I'm like,
hey, you see that?
Yeah.
I say,
has he been touched?
Turn the camera off.
But I want to ask you, have you been touched by an angel?
I'm touched by an angel. It's something about black women, man. When I'm around them, man, it's just that they bring out the best out of me.
I hope you can dirty wine too at the same time.
What?
Yeah, she got me smiling. You see, you can hear it in the background.
I can see that. I can see that.
Wow.
I can see that. Hey, you might have to. I see that. You might have to get on some city bound shit and put down.
What?
Put down, baby. Like, you know how we do it, baby. Come on. You know how we get down. Put down.
No, I can't put down. I can't put down.
Listen, we taking everything. We ain't leaving the keys nor the house or the dog. We taking everything.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But don't worry, Hakeem. We got her blushing too. We do. She like smiling.
Hey, matter of fact, listen, I don't know her, so you might as well introduce her.
Yeah. This one right here. To be honest with you, for some reason, she popped on my timeline on Facebook and I seen her. She had a remarkable brand coming out. And I'm like, not coming out, it's actually out. And I'm like, man, we got to interview this woman because this woman is like, especially she's black as well. And I'm like, man.
Dark skin, chocolate too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, and gorgeous. So I'm like, yeah, Hakeem, we gotta interview this one. So this is the one I actually had to hit up, you know. And she goes by the name of Irresistible Lips. And so people were like, man, that's a freaky name. It's not freaky, it's a very exotic name. And the reason why it's called Irresistible Lips is because she got a lip gloss company, which she's gonna talk about too. And Miss Irresistible Lips.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself to the people.
Well, my name is Nette. From Irresistible Lips, so I'm the CEO of the company. Founded in February of this year. And my company is primarily focused on 2-in-1 products, which means they have two sides. Currently, our number one selling products is our double-sided lip gloss. So it's 2 lip glosses in one, and our double-sided waterproof matte lipstick. So, and they're also refillable, so that's a big thing. And then I also have the lip scrub with lip balm. So one side is a lip scrub, the other side is a lip balm. I sell a couple of other things as well, lip liners, and I also sell the face mask. And the reason why I incorporated that, because, you know, it's a pandemic and a lot of people are saying, well, it makes no sense to wear lipstick and do whatever because of the fact that we have to wear, you know, the actual mask. So the ones that I have don't touch the lips. So you can still see whatever color, have your makeup done and not have to worry about being out and about and still being cute.
Wow, that's really very amazing to come on with that concept. That was really good. Definitely. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Now, first, we're going to get into the question, but first, let people know where they can find your product at.
Yes.
Currently, if you're interested, you can shop online. So it's shopirresistiblelips.com. And I also have social media. My social media page is official Irresistible Lips for IG. And then for Facebook, it's just Irresistible Lips.
Now, we're going to have that all linked in the bio. So the
first
question I want to ask is, explain to people where you're from. Your background first. I want to get into that. And I want you to segue into how did you become an entrepreneur and when did you want to start your own product?
Well, my background is I'm born here in Miami, but it's Jamaican. So my parents are both from Jamaica. I've always been an entrepreneur. So before this, I ran a preschool with my mom for a little over 17 years. We started off in 2002 and it progressed, and she has a center now. And then she also opened up a private school. So now that we did that, I did that for a little while not for a little while, 17 years. And with that, it was doing pretty well. Still does very exceptionally well. But even though I started off with that, you know, there's always that thing you feel like you should be doing a little bit more. or there's something else my hand should be in. And I've always been into lips. Even, growing up, I may not have worn all the makeup, but my lips, I always had some kind of lipstick or lip gloss going on. So I just look for unique ways to be innovative. And I thought about it. I had actually approached my mom originally. I'm like, Mom, what do you think about if I did like a double-sided lipstick? She's like, double-sided? She's like, what do you mean? I mean, like 2 colors in one. Or then I gave her a lot of other ideas, which I'm not going to state because they're not out yet, but they're things that people haven't seen that are double-sided. So she was clearly like, of course, she just loved the idea. So I took off with it. And when I took off with it, it did really well. When I started off in February, it did really good. And then I also ended up finding out something about called Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys are aware of it.
Yes.
Okay, so Clubhouse, I jumped on there. I was referred to that by a friend. And when I went on there, my second time being on there, I won the first place for pitch, the best pitch for a type of, individual business. So being that happened, that kind of put me in a whole nother light as well. So that's kind of like where I'm at now. Right now, my focus is just to gain the exposure and let more people be more aware of my brand, because my idea and my whole goal is to be global. So I want to be worldwide. I want everyone to be able to know about this brand because it's very unique. And what makes me even more unique than any other lipstick companies, that is refillable.
So the question is to you, do you have your own investors or you invest in your company yourself?
I invest in my company myself. Would I be open into investors? I probably would, but I'm not seeking investors because I don't have any problem with production. I'm just looking for platforms to let more people know about it because it's going to do what it do if people know. Right. Other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I saw in one of your photos you have on your page, on your Facebook page, you have Miami Tip on there, which she's known for loving hip hop, right. And also and also rapping as well. Because of Trina, how did she feel about your brand?
She actually loved the idea. As you see, she got one of the products. She actually has 2 of them. She has the lip scrub and the double-sided lip gloss. But she loved it. She thought it was super neat. It was something that she's never seen before. So I was actually at one of her events, and that's how it came about, even in getting into her hands, because she had different vendors, and I was chosen because of my unique, my unique brand. So, and she got one of them. So yeah.
Yes, and I was gonna also tell the people, like, what type of flavor do you have on a lip gloss so they can be known? Like,
it's not any flavors because they don't taste any certain way, but it does have a very, very sweet, like a aromatic but natural smell. Everyone loves the smell of it, but it's not like, oh, okay, if it's red, it smells like strawberry, or if it's orange, it smells like, it's nothing like that. It's just the gloss itself has a very nice scent to it. And it's not overpowering. It's subtle, but it smells good.
So when I kiss a woman's lips, I'm gonna be able to fall on the floor?
It depends on how good her lips is. It's not about the lip gloss. It's the lips that carries the lip gloss.
Look at here. I see where this is going.
No, this ain't going nowhere. I can't. It's just
Hey, it ain't nothing, man. I'm Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? So that you go ahead, baby. So
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the question I want to ask is, have you faced, like, doing this whole business venture that you're doing, have you faced any adversity, especially in this market, being a woman? Did you face any problems or people?
The only problems I want to say that I have faced is the lack of willingness for people to assist. Meaning, like, when I was initially beginning, I didn't know a lot of things. And even though I would ask questions, it's almost kind of like, let me not give too much, or I don't want to say this, or I don't want to say that. I don't know if it's an intimidation factor, or, it's just a typical mindset with majority of people these days. They just don't want to be forthcoming with information. I don't know why they feel like if they give information, it's going to affect how they move somehow. But I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. I'm here to do the betterment for me. So any bit of information that you provide to me that can help me elevate, I'm appreciative, because I know I'm very forthcoming. But other than that, the only issue that I also didn't like is the pop-up shops. You know, a lot of the pop-up shops, I appreciate, like I said before, about their platforms, because they give people an opportunity to gain exposure within the community and also a way to get their products out there. But I don't like the way they advertise us. Like, if I have a company and my company sells something that I think is worth, let's just give an example, $1 million. The way you advertise a company that could be worth $1 million, I don't think it's fair. I think if you're a host of a pop-up shop, you should uphold the brand's way they should be advertised. So uphold how they put themselves out there. So if I'm doing all these good things, but then when you put it out there or give me something to advertise the event and it looks tacky, or you have like 1,000 vendors on one flyer, but nobody knows who the hell the vendors are. There's no advertising or an elaboration of who is Irresistible Lips, who is this person. It takes me back, because it's like, how am I really getting exposure if all you're doing is posting a flyer with 1,000 people? There's no individuality in it. So that's the only thing I really just dislike. But I plan to take a change in that, because I decided I'm going to start hosting my own pop-up shops as well.
And I like the idea not the idea, but that statement you made, that if something is your brand, you want to stand behind your brand with the best integrity it is. You don't want nothing to be sloppy. Hakeem, me and Hakeem, we talk about it all the time. That people tend to limit themselves, especially when it comes to their brand. They're like, I'm just trying to get out there. No, your brand is who you are.
Right.
No, definitely.
And that's very important.
I also want to comment on something you say that me and him also face too, as far as the lack of assist amongst people in our own community, and as far as our peers and stuff like that, even to the point as far as me and him starting business ventures. And this is no disrespect to our loving community here in Miami, but a white boy hadn't put me on how to start a podcast. And a lot of stuff is, you know what I mean? And us as a community, we can't be scared to release information, as far as, especially if our brothers and sisters are trying to do something positive. You know what I mean? I don't charge nobody for the information. I just give it for free, and I help anybody. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But it also tends to go back to us lacking to have nothing, and then when we do get a little bit of something, we want to hold on to it and skip the other person go on it, and that's the thing. Now, to segue into my next question is, what was the reception from? You know, I mean, you already spoke to that your mom was supporting. What was the reception from your other family members and friends on the line, and you starting your own business or getting into the health and beauty field,
Well, to be honest, I didn't discuss it with a lot of people. Why? Because I know what I was doing is so unique, and I didn't want it getting out and someone else trying to break into it before me, like, oh shoot, that's a good idea, let me go tell whoever, and you know, it breaks out into a whole big thing and I didn't even drop yet. So I honestly kept it to myself for that reason. But not only that, it's funny because sometimes when you're doing things to elevate, if some people may feel some type of way, if you're moving maybe faster than them, or things are just working out a little bit better from you. I didn't want people that I don't really have friends like that. I have people that I associate with, but I don't sit on the phone with everybody. I really don't talk to anybody every day. I talk to maybe one person every so often, but I'm so involved in what I'm doing, I don't keep up with people anymore. And it kind of segregated us, because when I started to apply focus, I just couldn't do the things that people I used to associate were doing. Hanging out, going out, doing all the things that I used to find joy in was no longer a priority to me. So it kind of, we fell apart. Not that we had anything against each other, we're not doing the same things anymore. So I'm not going to come back to you and say, hey, you know, by the way, guess what I got going on? It makes no sense if we're not speaking on a regular day-to-day basis. I'm not going to bring to you what I have going on. It's not for you to know. So I kind of just stood to myself just because I wanted to focus, and I didn't want things to get out before I wanted it out. So there was really nothing for me to receive perception or how people took it. The only people that knew were my immediate family, which was my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother. And I had one friend, which was like my cheerleader. Like anytime I had a doubt or was unsure, like I blew up her phone. Literally, I would call her like at 6 a.m, sometimes 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, you up? She's like, yeah, what happened? And she was right there. But other than that, it was just me.
Very. What about your significant other? Because I know you probably are dating someone. So does he support you as well?
He always supports. He's one of my big motivators because his mentality is a boss mentality. You know, he's an entrepreneur himself and he does well for himself and he's on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I knew kind of pulled us together because he has that boss mentality. He knows what I was trying to do. So, you know, he aids me and gives me little tips or whatever. But other than that, I mean, he never downplayed or anything. He's always right there. Anything he can do, he would do it. I know sometimes he didn't want to hear it because I was like lipstick all damn day. Sometimes he would just be, sometimes I'll be talking to him and he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you're so not listening to me right now.
But he never get intimidated because, you know, some men, not say he does, but, you know, some men are intimidated about powerful women that's trying to do for themselves.
He's not that type of guy. There's no way for him to be intimidated because he's such a boss. Like his personality he's beyond me. I'm trying to catch up with him. Let's put it that way. In certain aspects, no way. Because that's just not him. He's way ahead of his time. So for him to be intimidated would be far from the situation. By no means, never an intimidation. Never an issue. It would more or less be like, I'm bringing her up to catch up with me versus, damn, she's done took off on me.
Let me ask you a question. You speak so well and so eloquently. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here, you know what I mean, just listening to you speak, and you have a very strong business acumen. And I'm wondering, like, is that something you always have, or you gained that over time? Or, you know, have you worked any other places that maybe kind of built that up?
I'm going to credit that to my mother. My mom is a boss. You understand? I come from a family of bosses. I'm going to be quite frank. Everyone in my family is an entrepreneur in my immediate family. My mother, before she did this, she was a nurse, but, you know, she has this. My aunt is a doctor, but she had her own practice. My grandmother, she worked at AT&T, retired and opened up her own business. So everybody busts moves once they may start somewhere, but where they end up is entrepreneur life, and they're very successful at it. So it's trained, I guess it's in my gene pool, but also it's a trained way of thinking. And I did learn a majority of it through my mom working with her at the school. Because of course I started when I was in 02, I was like 21 years old, I want to say, somewhere there. So I was really young. And she did mold me in a lot of ways. I did learn a lot in being that business, because when you're in that business of childcare, you deal with so many personalities, so many different levels of individuals that you have no choice but to mold yourself to be able to handle everything that comes at you. But one of the biggest things you have to learn is that no matter what you may go through, you still have to conduct yourself as a lady and as a businesswoman. Just because, let's say this chick decides that she wants to fly off the handle, does that mean you fly off the handle too? Or you level up and just says, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but at this time, da-da-da-da-da. So it took some time, not a lot, because I'm a quick learner, a quick study, and I get it. But I credit that to my mom. My mom, she's tough, and she's brutally honest, and she's going to say, and she's one of those individuals, when you're running a business, just because you're Black, you don't have to make it ghetto. You're a Black business owner. It's already bad that you're a Black business owner because they expect a certain level of customer service or reaction from you. So you have to work just as much, if not harder, to show them you can conduct yourself better than what they may expect you to. So I always keep that in the back of my head. I want to make sure that I set an example that's different from what is to be expected. There's been many times where I'm on the phone, they thought I was white. They thought I was something else. And then when they see me, you're Black? Well, what did you think it was going to be? Like, because of the way I speak. So I get it, but it's intentional. I don't want you to feel because I'm Black that I have to act a certain way. I can go in with the millionaires and I can hang in the trap house. I'm very diverse that way. And I do that intentionally because I don't want people to feel I'm better than, but at the same time, don't get it misconstrued. I can be the boss of the boss of the boss. So.
No, and I love the statement you made that even though you can be Black, but you can still be eloquent. A lot of people misconstrue that because they feel like, oh, because I'm Black, I need to be quote unquote ghetto.
Right.
That's absolutely false. That is the most powerful statement. You hit me hard right there.
No, definitely.
Because it's great to hear stuff like that, especially from a Black woman, because now society, the society we live in today, a lot of people feel like Black people are limited, and I disagree with that.
Right.
I think Black people have more opportunity now than ever before.
Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of what you do with it. And then sometimes it's just laziness, it's comfort. Let me give you a prime example. My truck, I took it to go get serviced about 2.5 weeks ago. They already knew what was wrong with it. It was supposed to get fixed. Make a long story short, a 4-day job turned into 2.5 weeks. In the 2.5 weeks, I made several attempts to speak to the dealership because I'm trying to figure out what's taking so long, why the truck's not ready yet. When I went to pick up my truck today, and I went and I spoke to the manager, and I says, listen, my car has been here for 2.5 weeks. And in that 2.5 weeks, I explained to him all the different things that I encountered, and I thought it was very unprofessional, and things were mishandled. Make a long story short, he tells me, I have no excuse. I'm totally sorry, but this is what it is. He has no technicians. He has half of the staff were out because of COVID. So it's literally they're running on pins and needles, and they can't hire anybody. Why? He says because unemployment pays these people $650 to stay home. Nobody wants to work.
You see, I
said, shut the front door. I said, are you serious?
Yeah, we did a show about it. Yeah.
I felt so bad for him. Like sitting there looking in this man's eyes. When I went in there, I literally went in to tear him up because I was so pissed off. Like, why do I have to waste my gas to come up here so many different times just to speak to somebody when you guys have a phone? He said, we haven't had a receptionist in months because we can't keep one. He said the last receptionist he had literally had the audacity to walk into his office and say, I am going to be leaving because my cousin told me I can get paid $650 an hour to stay home. $650 a week to stay home. I said, what?
That's real.
What are we living? Why? Since when is $650 any bread? Listen, between my car note and car insurance, $650 is gone. So what are you talking about? You still got your rent. You still got light. If you got water, what about gas? If you got kids, like $650 is nothing. So when did society feel it's cool to chill off of $650? Like, you crazy? If I bring in $2,000 a week, I'm still on the hunt for more. So I was just like sitting there in awe, and I literally had to like take a back and just be like, okay, let him ride. Because clearly I just saw all of his face. The whole stress like literally came out in our conversation, and I felt bad. I'm like, damn, you want me to answer the phones? Like, I'll come in and help you for a couple of hours, literally. Because I'm like, damn, I was so shocked to hear him say that. So he can't find anybody. So that tells you what the mentality is. Like, why are you okay with $650 a week? That's nothing. Nothing.
Preach.
No, definitely. It's crazy because we did a show about that, and we're heading into a new economic situation. But let me ask you a question. So what is the perception of other entrepreneurs that you meet? And how did they perceive your brand, or explain? Because I want to give a shout out to, because I see we want to give a plug because I see you got a speaking engagement coming up soon.
Yes.
What is called the Billionaire Destiny?
The Billionaire Dynasty.
Yeah, because the guy that's on there, he's been on this podcast before. He's one of our. We love him. Yes. That's our brother. That's our brother.
Yes.
Shout out to Cash.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll up a pistol on any nigga for him.
Right.
That's how much I got him. He's a solid brother, a good husband.
Right.
Yeah.
A good father. You know what I mean? He's an exemplary example of how a black man's supposed to be. So
right.
what is, you know what I mean, what is your perception of other entrepreneurs and how they perceive you, especially your brand?
A lot of people are very receptive to my brand. And I'm not shocked about it because I know my brand is very unique and it provides something a lot of women and anyone would be interested in, which is convenience. You have two options. As a woman, when we get our makeup and stuff like that, you know, we'll tote the lip gloss, the lipstick, the lip liner, all those things. So if I'm offering you something double-sided, you could knock out a couple of those things in your purse. Hey, of course you're going to be for it. But when I won, you know, the pitch for the best idea, you know, the business venture in the pitch room on Clubhouse, and that room had like, I want to say 2,000 people in it. It was a lot. And I won by accident. That solidified that I had something solid because I won first place out of all the other pitches, which I thought I didn't even stand a chance because I didn't even know I was in a competition. I just pitched a pitch and I found out that, hey, this is a competition. I'm like, well, damn, if I knew I would have, you know, but you know, I did what it did. So other people, when they come to my brand, it's very good. I don't have any issues whatsoever. The only issues I have, honestly, is I hate seeing other brands not operating at their full potential. And the issue comes in, which is why I'm having this conference. They don't know how. They don't know who to go to. They don't have someone they can speak to. There's not someone coming to tell them, hey, what the hell you got is good. You are better than what you're doing right now. You need to find a way to get this up out of the pop-up shop. Get yourself into a store. How are you going to get yourself into doing something else different? You need marketing. You need branding. Sis, this is good, but this sticker is not going to work. No millionaire is going to want to put money into this sticker that you printed from your crib. You got to get somebody professional to handle it. They don't know that. So that's my only thing. When I meet these other people, I find myself consistently feeding energy into them to let them realize, like, you're bigger than what you think you are. You just got to put yourself and apply yourself and push. So when I did this conference, that was a whole intentions, like to give people the connections to people who've done it, did it, and to people who can assist them in trying to do it if that's what they really want to do. So if you have a brand and you're trying to scale up and you want to be better, you want to be bigger, you want to be in stores, come to this conference and come put yourself in connection with the right people and let's get it popping.
Praise
with this
conference,
is it free admission or is it admission fee?
No, it's not free. It is paid, but it's two different packages.
Mm-hmm.
One package is $125, which gives you the entrance, the food, and you get a 10% discount on any marketing services with the marketing company that's going to be there. And when I say marketing company, it's a one-stop shop. They do commercials, they do flyers, they do designing, they do banners, tape, whatever you need for your brand. You don't have to go to Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's all in that one company. And if you get the other package, which is $250, they give you your branding consult on site. So they get the information on the intake form when you first register. They do whatever they do in the back end to do their assessment. On the day of the conference, after the conference is over, you get your one-on-one with them, and they're going to tell you, hey, based on what I look into with your brand, your website, everything, they give you the whole rundown, literally a blueprint of where you are, and based on where you say you want to be, okay, and this is what you need to do. Now, if you want to run it at that time, of course, you get a great discount to run it at that time. If you want to do it piece by piece, they have packages to do it piece by piece. The whole key is to have some starting point to start moving towards your elevation to get you out of that stagnant. Some people just are not aware you're in your own way. Sometimes you got to get out your own way and realize that there's more to be done, but they just don't know. So I am here to provide the information. So now you know, so it should be no issues because you know now what you want to do with it. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to, but at least you still have the information of what you need to do. If you find Keisha or Tommy and he said they could give it to you for a better price, go for it, make it happen. The whole key is I want you to make it happen.
And my question is to you, do you feel during the COVID pandemic, when the whole situation occurred, did it help your business or did it hurt your business?
I don't want to say it hurt my business. I want to say it didn't go as fast as it could have. It still does what it does, but of course, if there was no COVID, it would be a lot faster. There are, for example, some mom and pop stores that wants to be a part of it, and they literally gave me personal numbers. When this stuff blows over, I want your stuff in my store. So I have people I have to call once this kind of calmed down to put in their stores, but they're saying nobody, they show me. The lipstick's been there with dust, they ain't going nowhere. Nobody's not buying it. But I also tell them, you also have to promote the mask. If you're giving them these masks that touch their lips, of course not gonna want it, because they're like, well, am I gonna put it on? It's gonna come right off.
Right.
But that's why I invested into the plastic mask, because it doesn't touch the lips. It provides visibility of the lips. So now you can still wear your lipstick and be cute and have your mask on. So that's what worked for me to allow me to still move in the pandemic, because I had a solution to what everyone was considering a problem.
Very nice.
You right here sounding like a motivational speaker.
That's why
I might as well just say,
like, I don't even want to.
I might as well just quit my job today.
Yeah.
I might as well not work no more. Like I just, you know what I'm saying?
And listen, one thing I've come to realize in this life, it's not for everybody. I could tell everybody you have a niche, there's something that you could be good at, but everybody doesn't. Some people just may prefer to just clock in and get a check. That's cool. If you want to clock in and get a check, do that. But make sure you're the best of the best of that person clocking in for that check. Because the key is you want to be indispensable. I don't care if you go in there as cashier. Go in there as cashier and learn everybody else's goddamn job. Because at the end of the day, if you know how to do everybody's job when it's time to lay a bitch off, your name is going to come up last. Because why? They're going to see, we can't get rid of her. She know how to run a cashier. She could do my job. She could do this. It makes you indispensable. But a lot of people don't go in with that mentality. They just go in, I'm here to do a job and collect the check and I'm leaving. That's fine. But make sure you're the best bitch at that job. Don't just go in and clear it. Learn, even if you don't want to do it, learn it to say you know it. So they have to think twice if anything was to go down.
And
praise the Lord.
But it was she is on fire.
On fire is not the word. Rap it. So now, what advice would you give for up and coming female entrepreneurs who could be listening? Because we have a strong female base that listens to us. We support Black women businesses here. We've done numerous of, so, you know what I mean? We always ask these questions. What would you tell the single mom, the one who's out the poking beans, somebody who's out Lincoln Field, who sitting home doing hair, just dreaming about starting a business like you? Because, you know, a lot of people going to say, hey, it could be easy for you. You had all the acumens ready for you. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I did not. That's a lie. Listen, everything I did was off the muscle, was off my pockets. No one, you know, that's another misconstruction people have with me, because my mom is a business owner and she's successful, that, well, mommy probably did it for you. My mom didn't put a dime into what I did. I did everything on my own. I hustled for it. I did what I had to do and I run it up. That's just me. However, there are people who sit back wondering how, what, but I don't want to hear no buts, especially if you have talent. You know how many people I see and I have to motivate? You know how to work Photoshop. You know how to make flyers. You know how to do this. And you clock in on somebody's job and you ain't trying to make money on the side? What you got going on? Or you could braid hair raw as hell, but you're not doing hair, but you clocking in. What you got going on? A lot of people have such great talent, but they don't apply themselves. Why? A lot of it is fear. Some of these people are in fear of success, or fear of stepping out of their comfort zone, or fear of rejection. Screw all that. You cannot, if you do that, you will hinder yourself from the best success you can probably give yourself. Why not apply the things? You got God-given talent. You didn't have to go to school for it. You didn't have to pay for it. People pay for some of the stuff people do naturally, but you're not doing anything with it. Why? It makes no sense. Or you're complaining you need money for this or you don't have money for that. but you could do hair. Oh, I don't want to do nobody hair because I don't like dealing with people. Then you don't like getting money, because I don't care if I don't like dealing with people. If it's gonna put $100 in my pocket per head, we're gonna do some damn hair. You understand what I'm saying? You could be specific, or have a criteria of the type of individual you want to deal with, but still apply yourself. And with application comes in time recognition. There's a lot of great individuals, but they're just, I don't know, it's just a fear. So yeah, you could be in pork and bean, but half those chicks in pork and beans gotta hustle. They're just not putting the energy in the right place to get them in the right spot to pop off. And then again, I also credit that to your circle. Sometimes your circle is a hindrance. Sometimes people will downplay or bring you down because they're scared for you to take off. So you also have to be very aware and cognizant of that as well. Is your homegirl telling you, girl, don't do that, don't do this, because she afraid that if you do it, you finna leave her in the pork and beans? You have to also think about that as well. So there's a lot of factors as to what plays key, but every person's situation and every situation is different. So it's based on your individual circumstance. But me personally, if you're in the pork and beans or anywhere of that sort and you have a talent, you should be mastering your talent, hosting your talent. Let people see your talent. They're gonna come to you. I can give you one girl right now. She's so, I don't know how to explain her, but her thinking is very, very advanced. She may be in this position, but she knows in her head she don't want to stay in this position. She might be clocking into this job, but in her head she's thinking, well, what can I do to get out? You know what I'm saying? So she was working for the post office, making very good money. I don't know what happened. Homegirl, all of a sudden, I just see her posting. Mind you, she's always been a braider because she kept her son's hair braided 24/7, very neat. And I used to always say, you braid, why you don't ever do hair? Child, I ain't got time for that. Whatever happened, guess what she did? She put her talent into play. And now she's booked every month. I'm like, Nikki, you got space? Not this month. But look, if she didn't apply herself based on her circumstance, she would have known how well, making more money than she was making in the post office. But, it's just a matter of that fear or that what if, but sometimes you just gotta say, screw it, I'm gonna just go. If it doesn't work, try again or try a different angle. But you can't, a lot of people just give up if it doesn't work. You can't give up. You still have to apply pressure because eventually you will have your breakthrough.
And my question is to you, what is your opinion about the men today? Because you can see now women are building like companies, corporations. Look at you, you got your own lip gloss company, and I seen women with food vendors, and the men are at home. So what is your opinion about that? How do you feel about that as a woman, as a Black woman at that?
I'm kind of old school. I believe in a man still being a man. I believe in a man still taking care of home. However, that doesn't mean because you say that you're taking care of home, that means I need to sit on my butt and wait for the check to come in. I'm just not that type of individual. I like nice things, and I am not a person, and I was not raised to wait on a man to give it to me. He could have $1 billion. I still need to get my own money. Why? If this dude decides tomorrow he's walking out, what do you have for yourself? Some people don't think about that. Some people may cuff money. Some people may start their own businesses. But at the end of the day, you just have to make sure you position yourself to be okay. A man being at home, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I prefer if, let's just say I'm the one that's making the bread and you might not have the fortunate circumstance to be in my position. You don't get to stay home, homie. Like, what you like to do? What are you into? Let's find something for you to do. We need to get this bread. Like, I'm about elevation. You cannot be messing with a boss or a person with a boss mentality and think it's okay to be mediocre or remain stagnant. In order for us to build and successfully get to where we need to get to, we need to work together. So let's build together. Let's make it happen. Yeah, you can support me, but I want you to have something going for you too. You need to be working towards a higher hierarchy to figure out what you want. And that's how I am. If you want to be at home, you're going to be at home studying some books to figure out how to get to the next level. But staying home completely and just, I go work, a man needs to still be a man. I need to know that if I fall, you are capable of catching me, and vice versa. If a man is doing well, I need to know, he should be comfortable to know, God forbid everything gets pulled underneath me tomorrow. Can you handle it until I get it back together? That's a good support system. I got you, you got me, and we finna rock it and, you know, head to the top.
I rock with it, baby. I rock with it. Right? Go ahead now. So, if we was to shoot a movie about you, what would the title of the movie be?
Ooh, the title of the movie would be A Boss's Mentality. And the reason why I say that is, from my younger age, I've always had that leadership mentality. I've always been the one people look to take the lead. I've always been the one, if I see good or if I see possibilities, I'm going to be the one to encourage and push you to your level. And people always say, Shannette, you're such a boss. And I'm just like, what? I put money in people's pockets, and I don't mean literally. I mean figuratively, because I have put them in positions to get the bread. I have positioned them to make themselves eligible to be able to reach certain, statutes. So by having that mentality, it gives you the power to be able to know what it takes, or to be able to motivate somebody who may not see within themselves. A lot of people don't even see themselves in certain positions that just might be destined for him. But it might take somebody like Net to say, hey, this, for them to be like, oh, shoot. Because sometimes they have family members and stuff, but they're not worried about that. Family is not like what it used to be. Like, my family has just always been like, what are you going to do? And they push you towards a goal. These days, it's okay to be a baby mama. It's okay to sit home and look for a sugar daddy and let him take care of you and don't worry about it. Like, it's a lot different now than back then. I don't vibe with it by any means, because I'm all about self-elevation. I don't want to rely on anybody. I want to be able to do it myself. Yes, it's nice to know I don't have to, but at the end of the day, I need to make sure I can if all fails.
Now I got a question.
Listening.
Now, would somebody say, I don't know you, but I could tell you have this energy like a hustler off a block. Have any? No, let me say this. No, for real. Like I can feel the aggressiveness. Right. And I can, I sense it. I feel it. I feel it's dripping. It's dripping hard. Have you ever gotten that and say people that like you are aggressive when it comes to these type of things, or?
Not aggressive. I want to say passionate. I've gotten aggressive, like when it's tedious and BS. Yes, my mom tells me that all the time. She's like, Shannette, you're a little aggressive. Just approach it a little bit more gently. And I'm just like, screw that. They know what the hell they doing. They being stupid. For example, prime example, at the school, girl and her dude, the baby father, get into it. Come to the school. I don't want my baby daddy picking up such and such anymore. Why? Because I'm not dealing with him no more. And this, that. Sometimes because the people with another chick, sometimes because they got into an argument. So they just feel they up and come to the school and says, take him off the list. First of all, we can't take him off the list. He is the biological father. Unless there is a restraining order showing that this man is abusive or something is going on, he has every right to come grab his kid just like you do. I don't want him to, what do you have going on? Like, so that now makes me have to look at you different and apply myself and my energy. Now I got to switch up. So now the nice, okay, mom, bump that. Mom, you make no sense. There are men who literally don't do jack for their kid at all, by no means. You have a father that comes in here every week, picks up on schedule for the weekend or whatever his day shift's supposed to be, pays the childcare expenses religiously, have Valentine's Day, shows up with gifts, Christmas comes and do whatever. When we have events, he's there with his kid partaking. And you're coming to me because you're mad about an argument or a chick and saying to remove this good man from the space of his child because you feel some type of way? Get out your feelings. If he is doing what he needs to do for this kid, that's all that matters. You don't like what he's doing, that's your business. That's between you and him. Everything when it comes to that child is fine. Why are you changing anything? Why are you trying to create a wedge? So certain things like that, yes, I do get aggressive because it makes no damn sense for some of the stuff people do. It's like stupidity on stupidity and just gives people a bad name on top of what we already got to deal with in society, point blank. So when I see certain things like that, or people just keep making excuses after excuses, it's just like, you didn't even try yet. You didn't even apply yourself yet. Did you give 100% before you ran all these excuses? So when I speak on certain things, I do speak, it may come off aggressive, but it's more like, get out the way. Stop causing conflict where there isn't. So that's kind of like my endpoint or where I'm coming in at, more so of just aggressive. I do have a very strong personality, and if I believe in something or I'm just standing on it, I will stand. You're not going to get me to fold.
I done backed down folding. A couple times.
Listen, you so silly. You really going to have to prove, you're going to have to show me why I should fold. And if it don't make sense, I'm not folding.
But my question to you, how do you balance out your feminist side? Because if you're that aggressive, most men are going to kind of get intimidated. I'm like, you know what, she's kind of too strong for me.
And it has, but you know what? It takes a boss to understand where I'm coming from. So that's why it's a different type of person that would associate with me. A timid individual, well, I'm not going to even say that as well, because somebody who's soft might be drawn to that. Like, damn, she's fierce. I've had that as well.
Right.
The only way I think that someone probably would be like, oh, I ain't doing this is if you're insecure or unsure of your direction. If you don't know what the hell you want out of your life, I will intimidate you because you already know where I'm going. And if you're not heading nowhere, you're gonna be like, I ain't even fucking with her because she clearly, that's on another level. And I've heard that before. I've had people say that, like, you're on a whole nother level. So me messing with you is, yeah, I ain't ready for that yet. So I totally get it.
Another question for you is, what's new? What's coming new in your brand? What's coming out?
Nothing coming out just yet, but by the end of the year, I will be releasing another product. I can't disclose that yet because, you know, I don't like nobody.
Yeah. We got to keep it a secret.
Of course.
Right. But my product is based on 2-in-1 double-sided product. So there will be more combinations coming out that have not been seen, and people are going to love it. Trust me.
I love to hear that. Now, I want to ask an important question, and I think this is very important for me. You know what I mean? Because how do your kids feel? Or let me say a child, because I don't want to throw a bunch of kids on you. How do your kids?
They love it. They actually admire me. They've told me, like, they always say, "Mom, you're such a hustler." Like, they like it. My daughter, she might hate it a little bit because I utilize her a lot to assist me in putting things together. So sometimes she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so over lipstick and lip gloss." But
are they involved?
My daughter is, because one of the other things I'm going to be coming out as a line for her. So she's kind of like, you could say, in train mode. She has to learn the whole process because she's going to be getting something for herself as well. But other than that, my kids love it. Like, they like it. They don't have anything much to say other than, "Damn, Mom, you're always doing something."
Now, this is my I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, and that's wonderful to hear that. I can hear you. You're an inspiration, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Yes. It's very beautiful to hear a woman of your stature to be out here hustling, you know what I mean, with kids. To get it is sexy. I love a woman who getting her bag. Lord Jesus. You know what I mean? And what would you want to, you know, this is my last question. What advice or what would you want to tell people who's listening to you? Because you dropped a lot of jewels this whole podcast. I really hadn't had to ask you a lot of stuff. I had a whole list of questions here that you just like
ask them.
Yeah, but you already answered them
already. So it's
already answered them. Like there was like
just flowing naturally. So
it was just flowing naturally. So you know what I mean? So this is the interviews we like to do where it's not even hard for me and him to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I could tell you're like, I don't know if you're like what you might call there a ringleader. Like this is like something natural for you. You've done so many times. But
not interviews, but I've always hosted, because at the school that I work, my mom is like, she's nervous. She hates, speaking in public. She hates speaking in large groups. Like she'll have a whole panic attack. So I've always been the one in the forefront to take the lead. If there's an issue, I'm the one that people have to address. If it's good, they have to address me. If it's a conference, it's me. So I've kind of just assumed that role. So it just now comes natural. And as I got older, things that made sense or didn't make sense, I'm very vocal. That's one thing about me. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to say it. The only thing I'm going to be mindful of is the way I say it, because I know it can be perceived in different ways or taken offensively based on who is on the other end. That I had to learn tact with. And that's how I just look at everything. Like I'm not going to be the person that sees you and see that what you're doing doesn't make sense or is wrong, and leave you there to go through it for another 3 years until you figure it out. I'm going to be the person that says, hey, I don't want you to take any offense, but this is what I think. I'm very forthcoming. I'm a team player, even when I'm not on the team, because I'm just a person. I want everybody to win. And if I know a way for you to win, by all means, you're finna get that information.
You see? Okay.
But she got me smiling.
Yeah,
like,
I
hard
can tell that.
Smiling. You get me smiling.
I can tell that, Dread.
Yeah.
I can tell that, Dread. Cool.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Like she got me smiling. I love intelligent woman.
Let me get to my last question. What advice do you want to give out to our podcast members and everybody who's listening? What would you want to tell them? What advice would you want to leave off on this to let them know?
Chase your dreams. If you follow your dreams and go with what you love, the bag is going to come. But you can't be lazy. A lot of people have dreams, but they're not applying themselves. Apply yourself. Put your foot to the pavement. Get out there. Speak to people. Network. A lot of people don't speak. That's a bad habit in Miami. Like, we don't speak to people. And I am guilty of it. I am one of the most quiet and used to be like low-key kind of shy. Like if you put me in a group, I'm the last person that's going to walk up to you to hold a conversation. I'm going to be one ducked off in the corner, observing everything that's going on. And when I started becoming my own personal entrepreneur, I had to learn like the only way to be successful in this situation is I have to start speaking to people. You have to network, because that girl that you see over there that look like she ain't making no money, she might be in her bag. She might know somebody in their bag. She might know somebody who could put you on TV, who can do things to really move your brand. But how would you know if you're not speaking? So I would just say, follow your dreams, network. And if, let's just say you're not trying to be an entrepreneur, if you got a job, be the best person at your job, because that's the only thing that will save your ass when it's cut time. Because trust me, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you make sure you learn every position, trust me, they're not going to be easy to let you go. That's something my mom always taught me, and I applied since my first job at 16. At 16, my mom said, any job you go to, you learn every position, because then they're not going to want to get rid of you. And let me tell you, when I applied that factor, I ain't never been fired from a job. Never. Any job I went to, I left. And I haven't had that many jobs because I'm just not a job hopper. But if you apply those ways of thinking and just hustle, the only way to success is hustle. And don't feel that there's going to be just this one way for you to get the money. It might take 10 ways. Because remember, your biggest billionaires and millionaires, they don't have one hustle. They have several different ways their money is coming in. You apply that pressure. If you apply that same mentality, okay, yeah, I could braid hair. Yeah, if you want to keep clocking into that job, clock into that job. That's an extra check. Collect that. Your money that you do with your stuff on the side, that's extra. Stack that bad boy up. Get what you want. Get the storefront, whatever. But the whole point is secure the bag. You got to secure the bag, and don't secure the bag if you have kids. It's not just for you anymore. You're living for your children. That's one thing I need to get out as well. A lot of people are not understanding it's bigger than you. When you fall off the face of this earth, what did you leave your kids to do? What do they have to keep pushing? That's my legacy I need to make sure is running. I need to know when I clock out, my kids is good. They don't have to struggle. They don't have to go beg a nugget for a job and figure it out. Mommy made sure they were set. We have this business, or we have this cash in the bank account. We can do what we want to do. Go to the college you want to. Go to the art school, whatever, the car you need. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get to point A to point B. It's handled because mommy did what she's supposed to do, or daddy did what he was supposed to do to make sure you had the means to continue the success, whether it's your own direction or continuing the path your parents set. But if you are not operating your life to know that I need to make sure when I'm gone, my kids are straight and you're just living for now, you clearly, excuse my French, fucking up, because it's not about you anymore. Because if you clock out tomorrow, what happens to your children? Nobody wants to see their kids going from foster care or being in a household with another family member that treats them less than because that's not their kid or anything like that. Got me, listen, fucked up, okay? My kids need to be straight when I'm gone, and that should be everybody's key. You should be doing something to leave a legacy behind. Your kids should not have to go through your same struggles. If you leave your child with the same struggles you went through, you did not do your job. And that's how
God darn it. We've been saying that in the podcast on every episode. And my kid, this is so crazy. That was on the background. Yeah. I'm shaking my head. I'm like, preach to the nation.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my God.
Shannette, you was here sitting here lying to us, telling you shy and stuff, but you just finished applying pressure.
But listen,
you done applied pressure just now.
You don't understand. You put that fire in me like the Holy Ghost.
Man.
But see, that's the passion. When I'm passionate about what I'm speaking about, that's how it comes off.
Man, hey, I'm gonna be the best cart pusher at Walmart.
Boy, you feel me?
Listen,
boy, I'm gonna be watching.
Listen, I'm gonna give you true story. My kid's dad started off as a cart pusher in Walmart. But guess what? Out of his whole team, he's making the most money. You heard me? Out of his whole team. So it don't matter where you start, it's where you finish. If you gotta start at the cart pusher, start at the cart pusher. But guess what? Them niggas at Walmart as managers and store managers, they make 6 figures. Their bonuses be 10 stacks.
Yep.
So don't take it for a joke. They might don't look at the cart pusher crazy now, because those same people are the store managers making more than your mom, making more than you.
Hey, lady, you heard what she said?
Bro, I can't look.
Listen, she just applied pressure. Hey, I don't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, bro. That being said, Chaos Culture Radio.
We out. That was it. That's it. I'm good. I'm done.
We good. We out.
Yeah. Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.